Welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in a everybody business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. Well, where do I begin? The crazy Love Island mix-up continues, and Sunday's episode was juicy. But before we get there, let's take a quick look back. So after Michael snaked Amber and left her for Joanna, the nation was shocked and disappointed with Michael and his wasteman moves. It's like going from a succulent, juicy steak with all the trimmings to an Iceland value pack burger. Only joking. She is attractive, but I just don't see the connection. At least Michael finally apologised to Amber, and even when he did, they still had so much more chemistry. Part of me does think that the producers gave him a nudge as he was getting cussed out by people on social media. But anyway, so Michael and Joanna, what is it with them two? I know I'm not the only one that doesn't really see any real chemistry. Seriously, they're really dry like crackers. Yes, people can take time to warm up to each other, but seriously, Michael and Joanna's coupledom just seems a bit forced and false. They seem like the only thing they have in common is talking about Amber. Like, what else do they actually do or talk about? Or is it just bad editing? I don't know, but that's all they seem to be talking about. I was surprised when Joanna bossed up and decided to grab Michael and Amber for a chat, when the rumours were spreading about Michael and Amber still having feelings for each other. She sat them both down to clear the air. But what made me laugh was that, Joanna was basically talking over Michael the whole time. And yes, he was biting his tongue. But we didn't hear him moan about that, did we? In fact, Joanna even told Michael that he shouldn't speak to Amber around the villa, which was just quite ridiculous. So if he was actually worried about, being whipped by Amber, he can actually think again. He also lied in the talk with Amber and Joanna as he didn't shoot Amber down, when he was speaking to her. He basically said he was still getting to know Joanna. But anyway, fast forward to the Dirty Dancing episode where the girls gave all the guys lap dances, which was absolutely hilarious. Let's be honest, Amber didn't go all out. She was shaking her butt a bit and kept it light, but she still managed to get Michael's heart racing with not much effort. Joanna, on the other hand, went for it big time. She was crawling on the floor and all sorts, but it didn't get his heart racing. Her efforts, however, weren't wasted because, she did manage to get Ovie's heart racing. Now, poor Amber has still been in her feelings about Michael and, has been trying to hide them. Now, I do think she felt a bit vindicated by the lap dance and knowing that, she got his heart racing the most. She's really still hung up on him, and at this point, I actually think Amber is just too good for him. However, there's a tiny, small part of me that would like them to get back together, but only if he was to eat humble pie and grovel. I agree with what Ovie said to Amber. And side note, I do absolutely love their friendship, by the way. But anyway, like Ovie said, I do think Michael knows that he effed up, and his pride and ego won't let him admit it. It's like he's made his bed, he's going to lie in it. He just seems like a stubborn man who is definitely in denial. And even Jordan recently mentioned to Michael that him and Amber seemed to be better suited and had more of a real connection. They were all laughing and joking, they're much more touchy-feely. Everyone seems to be able to see it except for Michael, who keeps on paddling down his river denial. Michael's face when Joanna mentioned thinking about what their kids would look like in the future was absolutely hilarious. And her talking about wanting to have a little girl with curly hair, there they go again. It's like they were describing Amber, still talking about Amber, okay? Anyway, Joanna, sweetie, you've known the guy just over a week or so, and I just think it's a bit too early to be talking about kids. Slow it down, girl. Slow it down, lovely, all right? So going back a bit more, before Lucy and George were dumped from the island, we said goodbye to Danny and Jordan. And I wasn't surprised about that at all. He didn't get any airtime. They didn't really get any airtime with Jordan. But, let's face the fact, the nation weren't happy with the way that Danny had handled his past situation, particularly the way he handled Uwande. So, it was a case of his time was going to come, so we knew that he would get booted at some point. But From what I hear from and what I see, they are dating each other on the outside. That's Danny and Jordan, by the way. So speaking of Lucy and George were dumped from the island earlier in the week. Now, Lucy and George had no real chemistry. I mean, let's keep it 100. She still had eyes for Tommy. Now, I couldn't believe she told Tommy once again about having feelings for him. This is despite her being really chummy with Molly. And she did this twice, by the way. So I wasn't really disappointed when she got dumped from the island along with George. And I wasn't that surprised that she doesn't really have that many female friends. They're probably scared that she'll go and teeth their man. I think, Lucy just needs to learn a little bit about the girl code. Anyway, I'm sure Molly May was relieved to not have to watch her pine over Tommy right in front of her face. I'm very grateful that Tommy handled the situation so well. Now that Lucy is out, is back in the UK and off the island, it seems that Sandwich Man Joe kept his word and seems to have been waiting for her because they were spotted out on a date recently. That guy is really smitten. I can't believe he's really smitten even after seeing her make a play for Tommy at least 3 times since he left. But, dude, I wish you luck with that, okay? As for Curtis and Amy, we know that their fairy tale relationship came to a screeching halt. It crashed and burned. And we know that Curtis seemed to be leading on Amy for weeks and did a sudden U-turn and basically dumped her. So Amy had real feelings for him, so she was really heartbroken. So as a result of Amy's heartbreak, she decided to leave the villa midweek. And I really did feel for her. Like, seriously, I was welling up and had to check myself and remind myself that this is a TV show. A TV show, a game of emotional upheaval. Anyway, Amy leaving the villa was a very big move, and I can't help but rate her for that. She left because she was heartbroken and didn't see herself meeting someone, new in the remaining 3 weeks. And she didn't want to stop Curtis from moving on. At this point, Maura had made it clear that she liked him, and it would have been too painful for her to watch, which is understandable. And, I can only respect her for that. Bless her. So, Maura, she makes me laugh, but she is something else. She reminds me of a bit of a Lucy in the fact that they both don't mind going for what they want. Where even if the man is coupled up, whatever the case is, because she didn't waste any time making a move on Curtis. Yes, they're all playing a game, and so she made her chess move. But let's be honest, she did have her eyes set on Tommy when she first entered, and then shifted her attention to others since then. So I didn't understand when she was getting a little bit upset about this whole love triangle and saying how she's finally found someone that she likes and now she's in a love triangle. Come on, girl. And I can't believe that she was actually consoling Amy, about a day before, only to make moves on Curtis a day later. But, again, just like Lucy when she made a play for Tommy, knowing that he was loved up with Molly May. It is definitely a ruthless game in this villa. But now Maura's in her own love triangle, so it'll be interesting to see how things pan out. So as for Tommy and Molly May, what can I say? They are still going strong. They have such a sweet relationship, and now they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, I can actually see them winning the show, and they're definitely in the game to win the prize of 50k at this rate. But let's talk about Anna. So we know that she decided to leave Ovie for Jordan. This is despite Ovie checking all of her boxes on paper, tall, dark, handsome, all that stuff. But clearly she didn't have the same chemistry as she had with Jordan. Now, I think that Jordan waiting for her, when she came back from Casa Amor, is what really got to her, made her melt. And, she spoke about also them having that kind of sexual chemistry. But I do wonder if she had known that he moved to Jordan and that they shared a bed with each other, would she be thinking a bit differently? Doesn't matter now anyway, because they are now reunited, so good for them. Now, I must say, I think the UK nation was shocked by the way Anna handled the whole Ovie situation. Ovie just seems like a cool dude. He's, good looking, funny guy, but clearly wasn't what she wanted. But the way she handled the situation wasn't a good look, because Anna tried to kind of par it off as if Ovie had an issue, because Ovie mentioned that, at least Joanna knew what she wanted when she came into the villa. She went for what she wanted. Instead of Anna just saying that, she was into Jordan and she did like Ovie, but she's more into Jordan, and just being a bit more straight, I think he felt like she was trying to muck him around a bit. So it was quite funny when Ovie said to Jordan, you can have her. And then Jordan tried to blag to the others and said, when he said that, he said she was already mine. Yeah, whatever. That's not what you said, Jordan. We heard you. But anyway, I do like that Ovie and Anna and Jordan have kept it moving, and there's no bad blood. Everyone's just getting on cool. So with Lucy and George voted off and Amy deciding to walk, they added 2 new housemates to the lineup, Francesca and Chris. Now, Francesca asked Ovie, who was then coupled up with Anna, on a date, because obviously Anna had already moved to Jordan by then, so they were just coupled up but not really together. And she also asked Curtis out on a date. The new boy, Chris, asked Maura out on a date, who was at that point still coupled with Marvin. And he also asked Belle on a date, who was coupled up with Anton. Now, what was really sweet was that when Belle returned from her date with Chris, she went and gave Anton a big hug and a kiss, which was really sweet and reassuring for him. That's how you're supposed to do it. Now, if that's the person that you like, of course. Now, Ovie seemed to like the new girl, but it seemed that she had her eyes set on Curtis. But Ovie seems pretty chilled at this rate and just looks like he's just enjoying the sunshine right now and trying to stay out of the drama. In the Dirty Dancing episode, it was quite funny because Maura made it crystal clear that she liked Curtis. But she still didn't win, as when it came to recoupling, it was the girl's turn to choose. And as Francesca was the new girl, she got a first pick and she chose Curtis. It did look like for one moment she was going to choose Marvin, but no, she went for Curtis. This was obviously much to the annoyance of Maura, who had her eyes set on Curtis and would have chosen him had it not been for Francesca. So there you go, she's in her love triangle. And with all this going on, I am so glad that Amy did walk out the house, because this would have been hard for her to watch all this going on. As Curtis was already taken, Maura then decided to pick the new boy because she wanted to give him a chance at finding love. Amber picked Ovie because they are great friends and she also wants him to find love, and she also expressed her appreciation for the support that he's given her during her really hard times with this whole, my fault foolishness. All the others were quite predictable. Belle picked Anton, Joanne picked Michael, and Anna picked Jordan. So with everyone coupled up, that left Marvin as the last man standing, so he was obviously dumped from the island. Peace. So on Friday, Maura was, still a bit annoyed that Curtis was coupled up with Francesca. And, she doesn't like that Francesca's, flipping her hair and flirting with him. And so she decided to take things up a notch and she asks for a massage, to which Curtis obliges and then, goes on to mount her and give her a massage, okay? New girl Francesca was not happy about that, so she checked him about that over dinner. Also in that episode, which was quite interesting, was watching Chris try to make his move on Amber. He actually likes Amber, but we all know Amber's still in her feelings over Michael. Now, I did mention, Francesca blasting Curtis over dinner, and that's because the boys were tasked with cooking dinner for the girls. And Tommy and Jordan Anton were chosen to go and do grocery shopping. Now, whilst out shopping, Anton thinks that he's Mr. Joker, of course. He's the guy with all the banter, and decides that it'd be quite funny if he writes down his phone number for the cashier at the shops. Now, remember, she doesn't speak English. He's mucking around, and, he just probably shouldn't have bothered because it ends up becoming dinner gossip, okay? So as Molly May and Tommy are getting closer, Tommy spills the tea on Anton, giving his number to the cashier over dinner. Of course, Molly May is, shocked and then spreads it along the girls. Tommy goes and tells Anton that he kind of slipped up and mentioned it to Molly May, which means that, Anton needs to come clean to Belle. Anna, who's overhearing all what's happened, then asks Jordan what happened at dinner. Jordan doesn't say anything, so she's not happy that he didn't tell her what happened with the whole, Anton writing in the number thing, which to me is just foolishness. It's just a stupid little argument that she's picking up because it was just banter. It's not that serious, people. Anton likes to play, but he needs to know when to put the brakes on, and Belle is a hothead. She's sweet, but I just think that was just a bit of a nonsense argument that happened at the end of the day. So we're up to speed, right? So now in Sunday's episode, we picked up on the dinner gossip. So Anton decides to come clean and tells Belle about writing his phone number down for the cashier. She didn't take it badly, she took it as banter, but you could tell it annoyed her a little bit. But later on in the show, you see that they have a challenge that comes up, kiss, marry or pie challenge. And it had me cracking up, okay? Anton fudged up again by saying that Anna was the best kisser and then went to go and try to marry Belle. Belle was not best pleased with this at all and told him not to bother and blasted him in front of everybody. Amber decided that she was going to pie Michael in the face because he pied her, which was quite hilarious, and she ended up getting about 3 proposals herself. Anna also pied Michael for dissing her friend. Now, she got pied by Michael and double pied by Ovie, which was also quite funny. So the whole pie challenge thing was quite funny. Now, let's fast forward to other juicy bits in the show. So in other news, Ovie is giving Curtis advice about juggling 2 women and ending up with scrambled eggs, which was just funny. I liked his analogy. And I think Curtis is actually loving being in this love triangle. He's got 2 women after him. He's been there, has the guy of advice for Tommy and his love triangle and everybody else in their love triangles, and now he's finally in one of his own. Later on in the show, we see the girls, Maura, Anna, Molly May, are sitting around giving advice to Amber and telling her that if she still likes Michael, she should go for it and tell him and lay her cards on the table, saying they don't see any chemistry between Joanna and Michael, and she should just go for it and tell him how she feels. So later on, the Islanders get told to get ready to go to a party at the Island nightclub, and Amber decides to lay her cards out on the table and tell Michael exactly how she feels and asks him to just think about it and not say anything. He does look dumbfounded, it was brave of her, but I really didn't want her to do it. I wanted it to be the other way round, man. But she laid her cards out on the table. I just don't want her to get hurt because, from the conversation that they showed earlier with him talking to Curtis, he made it out like, he was really into Joanna. Even though I believe he's into now. But I don't want her to get blasted or heartbroken. So with tension in the air from the pie challenge, Belle was still peed off with Anton. And when he approached her to talk about it, everything just went left, okay? Belle just cussed off Anton big time. It was highly amusing, you can tell she doesn't take any shit and isn't afraid to speak her mind. Anton doesn't think before he speaks, he just opens his mouth, and he went off running his mouth about, saying it's over between him and Belle to Anna. And Anna, of course, told Belle this, so of course Belle is going to be even more annoyed. Also, he needs to think about what he's doing. Whilst this whole situation wasn't a massive deal, the way he handled it is a big deal. Why? Because the girl you like is standing next to you and you're saying, you've been basically stalking this girl in bed for days, right? And then you turn around and say, oh, well, this other girl is the best kisser. Like, come on, dude, wake up. This is why she got annoyed. He doesn't mean any harm, but he's clearly a bit of an idiot at times. He should just be happy that he found a woman that is happy to shave his pale ass, okay? Anyway, hopefully they'll get back on track. The episode ended with the results of the voting that the public had been doing on their favourite couple. So Caroline Flack, who obviously always turns up with bad news, came to reveal which couples were saved, and who would be in the bottom 2. So Ovie and Amber, Molly May and Tommy, Anton and Belle were saved. They're the couple that were saved by the public. That left Anna and Jordan and Michael and Joanna on bottom 2. I wasn't surprised that Anna and Jordan were in the bottom 2 because I could tell by public reaction on social media that they were not happy with Anna in the way that she handled the whole Ovie situation. I also could see Michael and Joanna being in the bottom too, because clearly, you know, the way Michael dissed Amber and the way how he handled himself. Not to mention, we've had instances of where Joanna has been saying, you know, don't speak to Amber and calling her annoying when she's crying. Clearly, they were going to end up in the bottom too. It was a close call, as it was left to the islanders to decide which couple would get dumped, and they were all torn. But in the end, it came down to the last vote, and Tommy and Molly May's final vote was the swing vote, and they chose to save Anna and Jordan, leaving Michael and Joanna as the couple to be dumped from the island. But of course, this is Love Island, and there is a twist, of course. And so that twist is now the islanders can actually save one person. They can save Michael, or they can save Joanna. Now the question is, who will they save? Do you think they'll save Michael to see if Amber and him can get things back on track? Or will they save Joanna? And then maybe Ovie can crack on with Joanna. Who do you want them to save? Do you think Amber and Ovie should just, you know, who are really good friends, should really just couple up? Are they missing a trick there? Do you think Maura will be victorious, or will she lose out to new girl Francesca? What do you think will happen, and who are you rooting for? Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll be back with a new recap soon. Peace. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.